Real quick, I just want to add a little bit of context to this video. First of all, it was filmed about 3 weeks ago. I'm visiting one of my favorite areas in the Smoky Mountains here. I wasn't originally going to share this video because I really struggle photographically on this particular day. I do think it's important to share the photos or share the instances where you don't create something amazing. A lot of times people think that every outing is such a huge success, but it actually isn't. Most of them are not. But I actually do end up creating 2 photographs that I really do enjoy from this location. But as I'm going through the process, I get visibly frustrated. I get kind of down a little bit on myself for no reason at all. A bad day of photography is better than most days anyway, just being out in nature. But I wanted to add just a little bit of context to this video. I'll show you the 2 images I created at the end, and I'll kind of walk through real quick what I originally was getting frustrated about, what I originally didn't enjoy about the photos, and what I do enjoy about them now.
I've got a few days off. So I'm doing a little bit of location scouting for the group for my upcoming fall workshop in the Smokies that begins in a few days. And I'm headed to probably one of my favorite areas in this area, favorite locations. I've seen it in the spring a couple times, never seen it in the fall. Fall is my, let me get over here in some shade. Fall is my hands down favorite time of year. So I couldn't be more excited to actually see this. Like I said, because in the spring, I was absolutely blown away by this location. 2, or actually 3 of my favorite photos from 2024 all came from this location. It's got everything that I love about photography. Rushing water, big rocks, big boulders, beautiful trees, leaves. It's got everything, tons of character. I haven't been to this area, let me keep going here, since the storm, Hurricane Helene last year. So I'm very anxious to see what it looks like now. But I only got about maybe 15, 20 more minutes of hiking before I get there. But I couldn't be more excited to get to spend 3-4 days in this just absolutely beautiful part of the country. Made it to my location. This is the area that I was looking for. The light, the fall color looks very, very good behind me, actually in front of me. I'll show you in just a moment. But the light is still a little bit too harsh. In my personal opinion, fall color definitely looks most vibrant in kind of shaded light. And the more kind of light you have blasting on the fall color, it really kind of washes it out a little bit. But I can definitely look up here and see. Let me just turn you around here so you can see. I'm not sure if that is starting to come through or not on this, this camera. But there is definitely plenty of fall color there to work with. Hopefully you can still hear me as I move closer to the river. But this is an absolutely gorgeous scene with this canopy of fall colors just kind of arching over. Like I mentioned, harsh light right now, but within about maybe an hour or so, the light should get much, much softer, and those fall colors are really, really going to come to life. So I'm going to take a minute, just kind of relax for a second, and then get down there in the water, put on the water shoes, and just kind of play around a little bit and see if I can come up with a different composition than I did last year. I really love what I came up with last year, but I am going to do everything I can to best that this year. So now that the light is slowly starting to soften up, it's taken forever because there's no clouds in the sky, but you can see my tripod right there. I think that's the general area where I want to be, but I'm just kind of going handheld right now. It's much easier to find compositions when you're not strapped down to a tripod. It's just a lot easier to just kind of handhold, move around. You can do it much, much easier than you can when you have a tripod on there. So I'm just moving around, trying to find interesting water flows. I love that in these kind of Smoky Mountain river scenes. Being able to find some area where there's nice water flow, an area where the water's pouring over that's got some nice like jagged nature to it. It's a little bit more difficult right now because the water flow is always less in the fall than it is in the spring. Plus with the hurricane last year, it has definitely shifted a lot of things around. But although this scene right here looks surprisingly amazing, it really looks a lot like it did last year. I was really concerned that there would be a lot of log jams on the left and the right side, log pile-ups for when there was just that massive amount of water that poured through this area. But I was pleasantly surprised. This scene right here still looks very, very nice. So I'm just gonna keep going handheld here, trying to find something a little bit interesting, a little bit different than last year's composition. And as the light continues to soften up, this scene will just get better and better as each minute goes by. And I am really having to work for this one. I'm having the hardest time finding.
This is where I start to get a little bit down on myself, a little bit frustrated. And it's not just because of the light. I do mention that the light is very harsh, and it is. And anyone who's ever photographed in a woodland scenario knows that when there is harsh light in the canopy of trees and there is no clouds in the sky to hold back that light, things can get rather difficult. That was definitely one instance of my frustration. The second part was the water level was low. It wasn't terribly low, but it was low, which is common in the fall in this area, which I mentioned in this video. But after seeing this with very high water level in the spring a couple of years, or last year, it was really kind of just messing with my head as far as these little areas where there was no water action at all. I was really having a hard time, and this all makes sense when I show you the photos, but I was having a hard time removing or reducing the areas where there was just no water movement at all, and it just looked like black water just sitting still. It doesn't look very photogenic. It looks very flat, and it looks like just an area of nothing. And I had the hardest time really minimizing the way that would look. And I'll go through this when you see the final photos in just a moment. But I wanted to add a little bit of context here, additional context, as to what was kind of playing through my mind as the main source of frustration.
I guess it's the light that's because there's a lot of deep shadows, there's a lot of bright highlights in the background, there's no clouds in the sky. So yeah, the light is a little bit softer now, but it's still very difficult to work with. And I'm trying to find some nice foreground elements, foreground flow, and I'll show you what I've come up with here in just a minute, which I kind of like, and there's a couple things I don't like about it. You have to let me know what you think in the comment section below. But just trying to find a good balance of foreground to background, because everything I come up with is either too much background, not enough foreground, or way too much foreground and not enough background. This, to me, right here, I'm about to show you in a second, is kind of a little bit of a blend of both. Here, let me turn this around so you can see. So that is what I have right now. Let me just brighten it up a little bit so you can see it. I like the foreground a little bit. I like the rocks, it kind of arches around, and I like the two spills right through here. But the background, the trees seem to be a little bit minimized. Let me put it down to the normal exposure now so you can see. And I want to make sure that that fall color really, really comes through, and there's just kind of a small section of the composition that's dedicated to that. And therein lies where I am struggling the most, is just trying to find that good balance, a good, symmetrical, harmonious composition that balances the fall color and an interesting foreground with some nice whitewash of the water. So I'm going to keep working at it. I've got easily probably an hour and a half of usable light here before I got to start hiking out. So hopefully I will get the creative juices flowing a little bit more and be able to come up with something even better. I'm not going to lie, feeling a little bit deflated right now. Some days are just not your days. It can be really frustrating when you see such a gorgeous scene that I'm immersed in right now, and you just can't figure out a way to make a beautiful photograph out of it. Sometimes I just think you should just put the camera away and just enjoy it. Come back another day, try again. I've had a long day. I might have come away with something I might be excited about. Sometimes you see a photo on the back of your camera, you're not super excited about it, but you throw it on your computer when you get back home and you start to kind of edit it a little bit, and it really comes to life. So I'm hopeful. Maybe I got something that is not expecting to be amazing, and it'll be okay. But I think I'm going to go back to the van, go back to my campsite. Like I said earlier, I've had a long day, and just make some dinner and just relax. And tomorrow's going to be a better day. I just know it. If this is what a bad day is, then I'll take it any day of the week, because this is absolutely gorgeous here. I just don't think the conditions are optimal for this right now. Tomorrow they are predicting a cloudier day, not a ton of clouds, but some clouds. And that's going to definitely hold back the light a little bit and kind of make it a little bit more shootable, if you will. So we'll pick this back up in a little while.
So this was the first composition that I had shot. I worked really, really hard on this one. But what was funny is that once I got it all set up, I really didn't take many variations of this. But looking back on it now, I really do enjoy because I really do enjoy this photograph because one of the issues that I see in this next photo is really diminished in this image right here. But I really like the trio of these rocks right here. I really love this rock right here that's got the leaves on it. And no, I did not place these leaves there. They actually did fall. But I really like the water action. I like that there's not a lot of this kind of area right through here on the left side of the screen, where you can see there's just nothing happening there. That looks kind of boring. That area right there is really minimized in this image. So there is nice water action all throughout this. My real issue with this one is that the fall color was really minimized. Now, granted, I do, looking at it now, I do like the amount of fall leaves that are on this rock here. I definitely do think that that contributes to the story of fall. But my main issue was kind of up through here, this area. There's just the fall color is just really minimized. I mean, if you look how small this little area is of the entire photograph, it's just right here. It's a pretty small area. But looking at the image now, full screen, this definitely looks like a fall photograph. And that was kind of what I was really struggling with. Now, the next image here, this is actually the one I did not show myself photographing this one. But I really do like this trio of rocks here. Tons of fall leaves just laying on them. Nice fall color. The area up here is substantially larger, which I really do enjoy that. But this is kind of what was really bugging me, is trying to minimize this area right through here. You know, I had to get my tripod up a little bit higher in order to shoot down on this to really show this kind of three-prong look of these three rocks, which I really like that. But this area right through here was really, really bugging me because there's just nothing happening, honestly. It's just kind of empty, and it makes the whole image feel a little bit imbalanced to me. And that's what I was really, really struggling with. But looking back on these two photographs now, I really do enjoy each of them. You know, I haven't put a final edit on both of these yet. I mean, they're pretty much done, but I always take a little bit of time over a few days to kind of go back and analyze and see if there's any types of additional edits I want to change with the photograph. But these are both two pretty quick edits. But I really do like them. I like this one now. I like this one. They're both kind of growing on me. But I felt that I definitely wanted to discuss in the video real quick the things that were actually frustrating me at the time. And it was really the harsh light, which ended up being okay. And just the low water level definitely was a struggle for me as well. You know, sometimes when you see a location, it's like if you see a location with beautiful fog one day, and then you go back the next day and there is no fog, even though that location is exactly the same, the only thing that is different is the fog. Once you see it in fog and you don't see it in fog, you're really going to struggle with it. At least I do, because I'm just like, man, I've seen this with such amazing and beautiful fog. But right now, that atmosphere is just not there. And it just doesn't look the same. This is one of those scenarios where I saw this location was very high water, and it looked absolutely incredible in the spring. I showed those photos at the beginning of the video. And then seeing it with a little bit lower water level, even though there was amazing fall color everywhere, it just really struggled. I really struggled with the low water level and the harsh light, but it all ended up working out okay. And I felt that it was important that I share this video because it's not one, I think we always want to show our winners, our best photos. And this was a scenario where I visibly struggled, and I ended up creating something that is okay. I like it a little bit better now, but it's definitely not anything award-winning or anything like that. But I just wanted to be real and get it out there. So I do hope you enjoyed this week's video, something a little bit different. If you do have any questions about anything, please leave them in the comments section below, and I'll do my best to get back in touch with you as soon as possible. And if you did enjoy it, if you could, give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel if you're not subscribed already. And as always, I really do appreciate you carving out a little bit of time to spend it with me here today. And I will see you all next Wednesday. Bye.